And we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from beautiful downtown Blue Ridge, Georgia, at Sycamore Crossing, where we got the All-Star panel. We have Jane, Rick, and Bruce. Good to have you back, Bruce. Do you like this direction?
Yeah, other side.
We had to sneak up this morning, so
yeah, I seen you like hugging a wall, like climbing that way to get out of the camera shot. Yeah. Well, over there, which is not going to be a problem today, but over there, I think all of you will agree about this time. If it's sunny, it starts getting on the back, and then by the time we have such a shadow on the camera, we can't we can't see the pet of the week. We can't have that, so we have to get.
Yeah, it gets a little toasty over there.
Yeah,
sometimes.
It gets a little toasty. I don't have anything. You got anything?
Now let's just go. I wore my black shirt because Obamacare, you know.
Is that it? Is this Failure Friday?
Skinny failed.
Failure Friday.
Yeah. Death to
sad.
Failure Friday. That's. I mean, you know what? All right, okay, we'll go there. But so it did not pass in the wee hours. But I really don't think any network has to come on the air and say we're going to call it Failure Friday. And that's what MSNBC, today they're calling it Failure Friday.
I thought they renamed their show.
Failure.
Good one.
I said with Dr. Whaley here, because Dr. Whaley, in his service to our country, I see, and tell me, let's throw it out here. Tell me if you see it the same way or different. There's a possibility. I see John McCain two ways. I see John McCain, the veteran, the soldier, the veteran, the one that served our country honorably, and then I see John McCain, the senator. I have him split into two worlds. He's the senator. If you go on and look, he is actually a senator longer than he served. Okay. I don't like him. Sorry, I just want to look at it.
I don't like him.
It's two.
I don't.
Neither parts of him you like.
No.
Well, just to be specific.
I didn't like him yesterday, the day before. I could go back like several years.
The war service and, the POW.
No, that's why I say I look at him in two worlds. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but you also know there's a lot of stories out there about what he did as a captive. Indeed.
Yeah. Okay, all right, wait a minute. Then okay, a lot of stories of what he did as a captive. With you. Did that make last night him voting no on that okay? Did that make him okay with you when he says we have to reach across the aisle, when he says it's time for bipartisan? I mean, so yeah, I've read the things that he did. I mean, I've read why he can't, people don't know he can't pull his arms up here because they pulled him back and hung him up and broke.
How about hurt himself jumping out of the plane?
I know all that. All right, I'm with you.
Well, yeah, and
where were you going with yours?
I'm talking about like the allegations that like he was like a puppet of the captors.
Right. Have you read
those? PSAs on behalf of the North Vietnamese.
I know. I agree with that. The thing I'm really
so he was a rhino back then.
Worse than that back then.
Well, no. The thing is, I separate him into two worlds, and I'm not going to be, because when you say John McCain, there are people out there that cringe that, oh my God, you might say something. No, you watch the show. I said all week, I wasn't really excited, okay, that he flew back, right? I wasn't excited he flew back. I wasn't excited over his speech. I heard about this awesome speech on how the founding fathers intended for this body to work, and, and oh my God, and everybody was in awe, and he voted to bring.
But he had to vote yes so he could vote no.
Right. You took my point. Just
so he had to vote yes to vote no.
What? Sorry, I didn't hear you. I was talking loudly.
I said this morning, I am a buckaroo. Buckaroo. don't go with little buckaroo.
You little buckaroo, you.
Lindsey Graham is little buckaroo.
I got a better name, but we cannot.
Easy, Scaramucci.
Wait a minute.
Easy.
I need to make a statement. I sometimes use colorful language. I will refrain in this arena, but not give up the passionate fight for the real Donald Trump's agenda. Okay, that's all I wanted to say.
Colorful. Woo! I'm not. Listen, I have been accused, and and has been said that I am lockstep with the Trump administration. I am not okay with what Scaramucci said. I am not okay with that. I mean, I'll throw a word out. Monday through Friday. I am not.
I never even heard the profanity. I just heard a report. I don't know exactly what he said.
I read the profanity, and no, it's not. It's not okay. I mean, if you're gonna say something that, you know, I'm not sensitive. I worked construction for years and heard a couple things, you know, and so.
I think I can remember both of it. Let's see it.
No. You don't need to remember. I'm not okay with it.
Yeah. I'm not defending him.
Nobody should.
However, he did say he thought he was off the record. For what that's worth.
Really? You called a damn report? Oh, excuse me. You called a reporter? Excuse me? You called a reporter? Sorry, dear. I know that ruined your.
Yeah, right.
Get it back together. You called a reporter. This is what got me. Is the language was one thing, but then his comments is, "Well, I'll never trust a reporter again." Really? You called? You're in there to stop the leaks, right?
Yeah.
You're in there to stop the leaks from it showing up in the failing New York Times and the Amazon Washington Post. Only Trump can do that stuff. You're in there to stop this, right?
Yep.
From it showing up unnamed sources. So you call a reporter? Mm-hmm. That won't happen again.
It's hard to believe. White House communications director, you know, he comes in and, like, you know, within a week puts his foot right in it.
I was okay for the first 3 days because I do think the RNC, because I said this week, he came in to exterminate the RNC. Spicer was RNC. Spicer was RNC. Mm-hmm. The other guy that resigned, what was his?
Spicer.
No, the other guy. There was Storm.
It's Priebus that I cannot.
No, there was the second guy. All right, he was RNC. He's RNC. Okay, and Priebus is RNC, and they all came in, took over the communications. All right, Scaramucci. All jokes aside, he came in. Scaramucci. All jokes aside, he is the one that CNN wrote the fake story about, that Scaramucci was able to get them to retract it, and even the 3 CNN reporters were like, resigned. Okay, this is the guy. This is the guy. So when he came in, I was on board with that. I was on board with even when he said, I stabbed from the front. You know, people say stab in the back. He said, I stabbed. I was okay, because if I'm going to fire you or I'm going to reprimand you, I hate to put it like this, I'm not going to talk behind your back. We're going to sit down in the office and we're going to have a talk. I'm going to look right at. I mean, so I didn't have a problem with that. I mean, hey, he's not going to. But like yesterday, I didn't have. I know like old Italian. I know like. I'm sorry. I just grew up around there.
What happens?
I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to use his name. But I sit right here, very close with the guy that was saying, I know like.
So what do you think happens next? I mean, are they in a damage control? Is this like? Does he
stay
around?
First of all, if you don't like Bannon and you don't like Priebus, I have been cautious on all the publications saying there's problems within the West Wing and backbiting and this and that. You don't go against the family. I mean, I don't think you should have said that. I don't know what they do. I do think it's a problem now, because how do you go out and say to Bannon and to Priebus and then go in and say, hey,
bada bing, bada boom.
You want cream in your coffee? I don't know. Do you tell me what you think?
I don't know either.
Oh, well, if nobody knows.
I know what I want to say about that. You knew I would have something.
Say it.
You said, well, there's, turmoil backstage, and everyone's saying, and has been saying, whether it's fake news or real news, turmoil backstage. There is turmoil backstage, and it is because, and it's worse than ever, I think really ever, and the reason is they have enemies there. They have put enemies in the House, and I don't know if they didn't know it, if they were too naive to believe it. I don't know how Priebus got in there. He was a hate Trumper. Is he a silver-tongued devil that said, oh, but now I love you and I'll be your perfect?
He's not a silver-tongued devil.
Right.
He's had a hard time talking.
Hello.
He does. Yeah.
He has a hard time doing anything. And so how in the world can they function on a positive level with enemies all around them, some that are so obvious that I'm sitting back and saying, you know, I've done all I can do. I've done all I can do.
I think Trump took him because he felt he was going to be like a very good liaison with the Republican Party.
Why?
I think Bruce is correct in the fact that I think a couple of them got together and said, look, you're going to have an olive branch over to Congress. You're going to have to. You can do it your way, but you're going to have to. And, you know, Priebus knows how. But
he was a
not
hate
that I'm not going
Trumper.
to say let's not spend time on this, but if you'll think about it, Priebus had an opportunity at the RNC during the campaign with Clinton to really stab Trump in the back, and he didn't. He stayed on the party ticket.
I think he felt the momentum.
Okay, Priebus's job and Priebus's job, okay, was to get a Republican elected. That was who was on the ticket. And if you go and meet these guys and ladies that are in these even local committees and RNC state, their job's to get their candidate elected. Period. Priebus stayed focused with that. Remember, right before close to the election, they were trying to build up the lie that they knew Trump had lost, so Priebus said, let's move funding away from Trump and let's start putting, remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Priebus came on immediately and said, no, that's not true. We've not moved a single dime away from the presidential campaign. I think he looked loyal. I don't know. I do think he looked loyal.
He looked loyal.
Do you understand?
But I think he's one of the
and
weaker.
from his position, you know, he obviously has been in the RNC for what, 4 or 5 years, whatever it is, 3 years.
Let me just say, I don't know about you, but for me, if I were a Democrat and I was for Hillary or against Hillary. I was a Democrat. I'm against Hillary. No Hillary. No Hillary. Then she asked me to be her chief of staff. I'd love to. You think I'm going to start loving Hillary? Because the hate is so strong. I mean, you know, it's so strong either way. You hate Hillary, you hate Trump, and Priebus was he was a never Trumper.
Well,
they were vicious.
But keep in mind, Trump went into the White House with the left saying he wasn't a Republican, with the left trying to label him not a Republican,
among other things.
Right, but I think he went into the White House saying, you know, I need to make them over on Capitol Hill. I'm a Republican. I just think
he was climbing uphill battle.
I think they said he ran on the Republican ticket.
Yes, yes, right.
Like Sanders running on the Democratic,
right,
because he's independent.
Yeah. But he's really a Manhattan liberal. So getting back into focus. I don't know what he does in the West Wing, but I don't think
he's hiding right now.
You know, let's go with apology. I love apology, being real facetious here. I love apology when you get caught.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. You know, so would Scaramucci say this to a reporter, and if the reporter never said anything, never reported, would he go in one day and say, "Guys, I ain't talk to you. I said something to a reporter the other day. It just bothered me." That's an apology. But I got caught. I always like, yeah, you apologize. You got caught.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's not really me.
Right.
That's not the real me.
Yeah.
You hear
That's
all the
not
time
really
now.
me. I was just talking.
That's not me.
Yeah.
But what say you?
But let's shift to Bannon.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
What
have
about
an
old
opinion.
Stevie Boy?
I liked him. Is he a wolf in there?
You know,
Nobody knows. He's so far behind the
Yeah.
scenes.
I know. And, you know, when he came out on the stage that one time and said that, you know, this fight is just beginning.
Yeah.
You know, I thought this guy gets it, and I was really...
What do
Me
you think,
too.
What do you think
Me
has
too.
happened that he doesn't get it? What?
Well, he clashed with Kushner. That was the big thing, and he was banished after that. Basically, remember the Kushner?
Yeah.
That's what the story said.
I think there's just so many cliques. They get in there and they find out so many cliques that are going on. You know, the Republican this, you know, the subcommittee that, all these people working for each other, against each other. I think they just get overwhelmed by all.
All right, well, wait a minute. Okay. I want to hear
Kushner got his
why
licks in that testimony, though.
Yes, he did.
He threw Bannon under the bus hard.
Oh, now
And how was that?
I don't. Yeah, how was that?
Because he went in and he told the committee that he said, you know, Bannon knew what was going on. I had no idea. I cut it off in 30 seconds. But I think he really threw Bannon under the bus.
Bannon knew what was going on. They were trying to recruit them or to compromise them.
That this was possibly dirt against Hillary, what she was bringing to the table.
Right. So, well, he thought it was going to go on too,
the
though.
Ukrainian,
Kushner.
whatever she was.
Okay. So you think so Bannon? Then who do you think is keeping Trump connected with America? Not Manhattan, not Chicago, not the left out in California, Youngstown, Ohio, that is cheering, the Boy Scouts. Who is keeping Trump connected to that if it's not Bannon?
Twitter.
No. I mean, no. Not about his tweet. Who is keeping him connected? Who's writing those speeches? Who's putting that in there? Who is helping Trump stay connected and focused? Who?
Jared and Ivanka.
You think
Melania is not a bad? I think that woman's very smart, and I think she's got a lot of power.
So you think Jared and Ivanka from Manhattan that have never been out of Manhattan, never been off the streets of Manhattan, you think they understand Middle America enough to help him keep connected to that?
I think Jared.
You do?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I think that he was instrumental in him winning the presidency with the
Well,
way.
I don't disagree.
The way he was able,
that's what this is.
when he
That's
was
what
able
this
to
panel's
read,
about.
Hit me with your best shot.
He was able to read the tone and tenor of Middle America, and he knew where Trump needed to be, and he sent him there. Hillary never showed up in any of those Rust Belt states, or any of the.
I think Kushner's the
Wisconsin.
reason that Pence is vice president.
But back to my point. I mean, who do you think is?
You mean who's presenting Trump now?
Well, if Bannon, if you think Bannon might be somebody, we got to think, whoa, what's going on here? If you think that's possible, right? Then I watched his speech.
Yeah.
I watched his speech at the. Let's switch gears. You okay with this?
Again?
No, we're not switching gears, but we're slowing the bike down just a little bit.
I'm shifting here.
Who do you? Are you okay with the Boy Scout speech that he?
Yeah, it was great. Loved it.
Even though they're Boy Scouts and it was political, you're okay with it?
Yeah, sure.
Because are you okay with the Boy Scout speech?
Today's Boy Scouts are tomorrow's voters.
I like that. Yeah, the brown shirts, right? Go ahead.
No, I didn't say that.
Lordy.
You didn't say that. I didn't say you said that.
I could just knee-jerk, yeah. No, I'm not.
I'm with you.
Okay.
I'm not.
You're right. You're wrong. Let's go ahead. All right. Are you okay with the Boy Scout speech?
He should have smoothed it out. It was the Boy Scouts, even though it was a nationally televised thing, and he should have cut it down.
The Boy Scouts have always championed themselves on never being partisan and taking a partisan approach to anything. I don't know if that's totally
not
true.
true.
I don't think you can say that anymore.
Lately,
No,
yeah,
you
right.
can't.
However, the head of the Boy Scouts, I can't remember his name.
Okay, Bruce, considering the two of them don't get it, let me look right at you. Okay.
I resemble that remark.
Yeah.
I think the Boy Scout speech was perfect, okay. Trump never gives a speech and I don't go, whoa, Donald, just never. Okay, so could I say reel one or two things in? Maybe. But the boys, I am so upset. These are the Boy Scouts. It's okay to be an American. It's about time. It's okay to excel. It's okay to win. It was okay on election night. Look at beating the odds. I mean, you're talking about a man who stood up here. You got 30,000 kids. Don't let people tell you can't do it.
Right.
Look at the map that night. Everybody said I couldn't do it. I'm okay with it.
The only thing he was missing that night was lock her up. Lock her up.
I do think if the cameras were in the crowd, you might have heard some kids do it.
Yeah, but did you hear? Supposedly there was something beforehand where they said, "Don't start chanting, build the wall, build the wall."
They put that out?
Yeah. The Boy Scouts told the kids, "Don't start chanting."
Now, first of all, what are we looking at average
So much
age?
for
12
free
years old?
speech. Oh no, Boy Scouts go up to 18.
Older.
18,
Yeah. 14,
Eagle
15.
Scouts are like,
Right.
they go in
14,
really
15.
true.
Those jamboree attendees are older.
Yeah.
I want to say, that's what I wanted to hear. So you're going to tell me that these 13, 14, 15-year-old kids are not smart enough? No.
All they were missing was brown shirts.
No, I think you're totally wrong.
Yeah.
I think they're smart enough. I don't think anybody was. I think when those kids were chanting USA, I think when those kids were chanting Make America Great Again, I think when those kids were excited that the President of the United States, I think they catch on. I got a young man down in LJ. I'm going to, Chester, put his name right out there. Chester's been on the show. Chester's 16 on a football team, and he could sit right here and almost tell you, that young man could tell you point blank.
But
now,
we're not saying
what I'm saying
we
is
didn't
I
say they
don't-
couldn't
yeah,
catch
but
on. That's
I
not-
don't think
That's not what we were
I'm okay
saying.
with it. I was
Well,
okay.
remember, there were Hispanic Americans in there were African Americans in there were transgender, gay people in that crowd. I mean,
God.
I'm just saying, it's not brown shirts. It's not a bunch of blonde-eyed or blonde-haired, blue-eyed
No, I was
uniform
being
people.
facetious.
So I mean,
But
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
Obama,
yeah.
you
He
think
was
Obama
being
is
facetious.
never visit. I think it's okay. Look at hey
Great
guys.
line.
You
Great
remember
line.
last year? Was Obama here last year? No, I don't think so.
That was okay.
I would love to know where the
other ones
majority
weren't.
of those kids come from, because, and I have no idea, but my thought is that they all come from. Let's put it this way: they don't come from Manhattan. They don't come from the inner city
They
of,
do not.
or they don't come from Hollywood.
they're
come
they
from
probably mostly
the red states.
suburban or
Period.
rural kids
Yeah,
versus
and-
urban.
and so what are they hearing at home?
What?
What?
Boy Scouts, usually you don't find them in the city.
No.
There
That's
you go.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
The
So
the red
I'm
state.
okay
Red
with that,
state.
and I'm joking. If you know,
Totally.
hey, if you have some,
Bless you.
let's go back to. Then he goes to Youngstown,
I said-
Ohio, and they're cheering. Who is getting this, keeping this guy connected with
I know.
America?
Huckabee, the new press secretary, I think she comes on with a lot of, I like her.
Oh,
She's
I
just
love
matter
her.
of fact. She's saying yes, but she's
I
not.
don't know if she's telling him where to go.
She, what?
I don't know if she's telling him where to go next to give a speech.
Oh, I
No,
thought,
I
you know,
think
who's
connected.
presenting, who's connecting with the people out here on the other side of the fence,
All
you're
right,
saying?
so-
Kellyanne and then Huckabee? I mean, they're the ones that are speaking out that aren't going into these rants and cuss words. And
I want to get into the healthcare once more. I want to get into the Judiciary Committee yesterday, what they passed as far as wanting to look further at Comey, Obama's administration, and some documents.
Don't forget James
Sisson.
Baker in there.
And then I want to look.
Really?
I want to look a little closer at Deborah Wasserman Schultz. I really don't want to look a little closer at her.
Boy,
I can
thank
only
you.
look at her. So I want to look a little closer at that.
What about
because
Sessions?
It's the, and I want to talk about Sessions. So it is the things that.
Hey, we got some rain coming down here, brother.
It's not coming in.
No,
I
it's
love
not.
the rain.
Feels good.
We might have to send her a little. She's okay. I'm your host, BKP. We'll be right back after these messages. Do you think Jeff Sessions should go? Or do you think this has all been a setup between Donald Trump and Sessions? What's really going on? Hey, don't give it away what you think after the commercial. Be right back.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
20% off is a big number, but you always save big at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. And now during Malibu month, every new Malibu LS is discounted 20% off at Days, starting from just $19,900. Plus, huge discounts on Silverado crew cabs too, from just $35,900. So if a low price makes you smile, come save 20% off at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
And we're back. I'm your host, BKP, and we're beautiful downtown Blue Ridge here in Georgia, North Georgia at Sycamore Crossing. I'm here with Jane, Rick, and Bruce, our all-star panel. Let's go over to, I think Bannon has helped keep Trump connected to middle America. We're going to come back to that in a minute. I don't think he's totally responsible. I think he has, but there's some contention there in the West Wing. But let's switch gears on the tweets this week about Beauregard, Jeffrey Beauregard Sessions, the honorable senator from Alabama. What say you? I know last night Tucker Carlson, he did an interview and seems committed to his job, and so what say you?
Well, here's a case for he's been a mole all along. I don't know if he has. I didn't think so. I liked him. I didn't think he could be tough because of his Beauregard connections. I mean, you know, that Alabama accent. I'm a big one to talk. I'm Arkansas. I'm a bit more west. So, but here's the argument for he's playing his cards right if he's a mole, and I have no idea if he is. He comes on strong. We're going to get this and that. Then he recuses himself like that. I think that you could say if that was in the plan. Then he recuses. Then he doesn't take on other things in the meantime that he could have been taking on. Then Trump says, I'm tired of this, let's fire him. And then he takes all this abuse from Trump, and he goes last night with Tucker and said, I understand that president, I understand him, I like him so much, I'm just going to do my job. Poor me, I'm going to stay here, and I'm going to stay here. I used to talk like this all the time. I mean, so and he's just, oh, pity me. Everyone's saying, oh, Trump is, it just makes Trump look even worse, saying, I wish he had said.
Wait, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Anyway, that's my case for he can be a weasel. I don't know if he is, but it's pretty good play acting.
You?
I think this is just a Trump management thing. He's got an employee who's not really kind of doing what he'd like to do aggressively with maybe some of the investigations. So, you know, he puts him on the spot. He says, you know, shape up or, you know, things are going to happen. So I don't think he had an intent to fire him. I think he just wants to build a fire under him.
You?
I think there's collusion going on. I really believe that this is a whole big setup. I do. I think it's a setup.
Ditto.
I think that Trump and Beauregard, that do that well? Beauregard.
Beauregard.
I think they've been together in the White House, and I think they could. All right, how are we going to play this?
Oh, you mean those
Let's see.
two
Let me
together.
be good guy, bad guy. I'm going to run you
that.
under the bus, and you're going to be the loyalist. But at the end, I'm gonna push you in certain directions, and then you'll just say,
That makes sense.
I did what the yeah, I know. I did what the president wanted me to do. I mean, you see what's coming out now with the attack on the not an attack. I mean, James Baker, the chief counsel for the FBI, is under serious investigation right now.
I missed that. I got to go back.
He's he's being investigated for leaking.
Oh.
Hell, you say. Anyhow,
he took a leak at the wrong time. What?
That's funny.
I have always
like that.
I've always said, when Trump tweets out, I always say, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. When everybody's outraged at Trump, oh my God, that Twitter account, give it 2 or 3 days. Always wait for it. I've thought from the beginning that Sessions, I say relax. From day one, I said relax. Let's see what happens here. Because I do not believe that Trump said anything on Twitter that he had not had private conversations. You want me to believe that he's not had private conversations with his attorney general? You want me to believe that? You want me to believe that he doesn't talk to Sessions periodically? Hey, give me an update. What are we doing here? What are we doing there? You want me to believe that the only way Trump addressed Jeff Sessions, the Attorney General of this country, was on Twitter? Don't believe it. Don't believe any of that at all. I believe there was conversations, and I think wait and see. I think the American people are wanting to know, just like Donald Trump, why did you recuse yourself? A. B, where are the actual investigations that we have evidence to?
That's what I would have said to him in the office. Why aren't you then going after Comey? Why aren't you then going after whomever? And I think that was said in the office, and I think Sessions just sat there and looked at him. Why aren't they? Why aren't the other investigations going on? That's what they ran. That's draining the swamp, and they aren't draining one little drip. Well, the M13s are. I mean, they're getting MS, yeah, whatever that thing is.
That's going to be out. Okay,
that's getting there. But
his tweets on transgenders in the military. What say you?
Well, I can't believe he just came out and did that without.
Well, he's a little bit over his skis on that.
Yeah,
one.
He's over his skis.
I mean, someone should have counseled him and said, now whether he was just throwing that out there as a personal opinion. But he doesn't have, I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, and I know you guys will. I don't think he's got the ability to go there. Excuse me, the authority to go there. He's got the ability, but I don't know that he's got the authority. Doesn't that have to go through certain channels? And
they said nothing can happen about it until Mattis signs the order. So
right.
It's kind of a two-step, but yeah, Mattis signs the order, then done.
Yeah.
Or it's implemented.
So would you have preferred that be one of those come out at the podium press conference and have some brass standing behind him, some military people standing behind him, Mattis next to him, and say from the podium with the presidential seal in front of it, as of this day, considering studies that have been done and so forth, and the advice of my generals, which you can the optics you can see, you think it should have been handled that way?
Probably would have been better, but I mean,
yeah, I mean, if the generals were in fact on board, and it's going to be done in an orderly fashion, I don't have any problem with what he said.
I mean, but to me, it's an excess of the social progressive movement in this country. I mean, think about it. I mean, why should we have someone go in the Army and then we have to pay for him to get gender surgery or something
reassignment?
Like that? I mean, the Army's not a social program. It's not a social experiment. It's a fighting force.
Right.
Well, I don't reference all the time Rush Limbaugh on the show, but going back, no, I don't all the time because but going back from years ago, listening to Rush as a kid, the one thing that resonated with me all these years is the fact that, you know, Rush would say, and I say it too, our military is to kill people. That's what it's for. It's to kill people. It's not to build
when
countries.
needed. When needed. Not
when, no, I mean when needed. Okay, when needed. That's why you're on the panel, so you help me with the when needed. Okay, let's. It's just not going and randomly kill. But when we send our military, it's to kill people.
Yeah.
It's to win. It's to fight. I mean, it just is. It's we go over there and wherever we're at, or we're the enemy. It's to kill the enemy. How about that? Period.
Defend the country.
Right?
Yep.
It's not to go and build a nation, and it's not to go and, you know, and have social experiments. It's just not. It's not the place for it. So
read Thomas Jefferson. He has a lot to say about that.
Obama treated the military like a social experiment.
Yeah, Ashcroft.
Well, he just wanted to dumb it down.
When you say about Trump and what he did, I know you noticed we lost a lot of good people, resigned under Obama because they didn't want to put up with this stuff anymore.
Right.
We lost a lot of
tons.
Good military people that left. Okay.
Yep.
So you wouldn't have? Are you okay with what Trump said, or you wouldn't have done it that way, or what?
I would have nuanced it a little bit differently. The end result, though, I mean, you know, I think it's a step forward.
I'm on board. Yeah, I'm on board with it. It just, like Bruce said, needed to be a little bit more orderly and
you know,
a little more thought.
Gays bivouac over there, transgenders you bivouac there. You know, the one guys, you know, the one girls, you know, bivouac over here, and the rest of you over here, and you know, go out and win the war tomorrow.
No, I'm trying to. Yeah, right. I'm trying to think of an example, and I can't think of something to use as an example. But what I want to say is, there's so many things that the government has control over in our lives, and a lot of things people need. Way too many. Some of them people need desperately. I can't think of that example. And the government says, no, we're not going to do that. No, you cannot do that. But you can spend they'll spend $100,000 on changing someone's gender. When I was trying to think of something, I don't know why it can't come to my mind. Something very important that they could help people with, and maybe it's $400, but they say, no, that's inappropriate, and then they change someone. I cannot imagine my grandparents would be turning in their graves if they knew the government was paying for a transgender. I mean, it's not appropriate. It's unthinkable.
And it's such a small minority, you know, that are driving the majority all over the map. It's role reversal. That's
and with that money, how many guns could they buy? How much food could they buy for the troops that they say in Afghanistan are eating crusty old World War II
Hey, look,
stuff?
I say it all the time because I'm a live and let live person, but I think your birth certificate gives you your pronoun. That's just that. That's just the end of it for me.
It used to.
But when you go somewhere and somebody says, "What's your pronoun?" What the hell?
Yeah. Why do they have a gender box on the birth certificate if it's not relevant?
It won't be there long. I heard a woman interviewed, and she said, "When my child is born, we're not going to tell or treat that child as a male or a female. We're not going to have anything to say about that at all. And when they get big enough for us to talk, we're going to say, well, yeah, how do you feel? What are you? You know, what do you want to be?" How do you talk with that? How do you get that through your head?
How do you feel?
Free country, you can't license parents.
No, but I mean, that's where it's going to, and that is scary.
Well, how do you got the wrong guy here. You start, how do you feel?
Yeah, right.
How do you feel? I don't.
What do you think about that? What do you think about
that?
Yeah,
let's move on.
Come on, you buckaroos.
That was my rant for today.
All right, let's get on to something a little different than transgender. I did not chime in there. I'm okay with the tweets. He doesn't bother me with Twitter. He doesn't bother me. I still believe that Twitter is the direct connect that he can actually go and tell me something. And the media, I would give the media no opportunities to change what I feel. And so I'm okay with it.
Okay.
As you well know. Keeps life interesting too. I have to say that.
Giddy up.
Republicans on the House Judiciary Committee pass an amendment. First of all, again, thank you, Representative Doug Collins. I talk about Republicans, but Representative Doug Collins in the 9th District, right here where we're at. And also, let's give a shout out to Representative on the Judiciary Committee, Karen Handel's on there, 6th District. So Republicans on the House Judiciary Committee passed an amendment on Wednesday requesting documents related to former FBI Director James Comey's communications with Obama administration and journalists. I think they might turn this investigation around. I hope we have enough people with the backbone to do it. I mean, Obama, did you read any of the articles where Obama administration, how many times they requested intel on individuals, the White House? I mean,
it's talking about the unmasking?
Huge.
Yes.
Huge.
Yes.
Samantha Powers.
Yes.
Huge.
The rules apply to us, not to them. I mean, that's
how they.
The way they go.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say, you know, I think Comey was in on it all the way. I think he's in on it all the way.
Conniving.
Now, we said it last week, and I got a little blowback from the panel here.
What's that?
I think Trump needs to fire Mueller.
It's gotten worse since last week. I mean, I think it's gotten worse.
I think he needs to go. That's my opinion. What say you?
I'll get back to you on that.
Yeah. The only good thing that'd come out of it is Schumer would blow his gasket and then we'd be rid of him.
Well,
that's up to
don't count on that.
Yeah, right.
Look, I get concerned with what we're doing here with the branches of government and the disregard for having an executive, a judicial, and a legislative branch. Now, for example, is when we have Republicans and we have people that say, if he fires Sessions and makes a recessed appointment, we will do everything to stop that. The executive branch. Trump can tweet anything he wants, but he can come out this morning, he can stand at the podium and say, as of this minute, Jeff Sessions is fired. Period.
Yep.
Right?
He can't.
Got every right to do it.
And then you got somebody like Grassley saying that, read the Constitution, saying, well, you go ahead and do it, but we won't hold confirmation hearings for another one. Why?
Well, in a way, that maybe is not bad, because then you'd have, Rosenstein step up as acting director?
They don't have to make him. Can't they have
He's the one that named Mueller as the counsel.
But can't Trump appoint whomever he can for interim, for acting age?
Yeah, yes, but they said they would put a stop to that. So they say
the woman behind him, they say, would be real.
Yes, I've read that, and I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, if he fires Sessions, do you know how tough it's going to be?
It's going to
go through that gauntlet again and try to get somebody.
Sessions knows that too.
Yeah.
It's going to be brutal.
Yeah, brutal. Start with Mueller.
I mean, what would the list of willing candidates be?
Let's go back to Sessions just for a second.
I'll do it.
I mean,
are
you going to be able to find a guy that's going to be as tough on border security, approved by the Dems? I mean, that's where I think that's where he really shines.
And that's coming
right
up. The verbiage for the build the wall thing is in the House now.
Well, I want to get the final thoughts. I hear our pet of the week up there announcing they're next, and I want to get to that. So I don't. But I have one more thing. I have one more. Two. Will the American people blame Donald Trump for the failure of repealing Obamacare, or Mitch McConnell, and in the Senate? Who will they blame?
I don't think they will blame Donald Trump. They're going to blame a lot of other people down there, but it won't be Donald Trump.
Do you think they'll
blame American people or
the American
media?
People? No, not the
American
media.
people.
The American people, will they blame Donald Trump for?
No, they'll just say, he's surrounded by a bunch of swamp dwellers, and they can't get anything done.
And you?
Gang of Seven.
Gang of Seven. I got you. Do you think Mitch McConnell needs to go?
Yes, and yes.
Ooh, tell me.
Don't sugarcoat it now.
It took 4 years. You only gave us 3.
And by the way, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You think Mitch McConnell?
No. They have so much turmoil now.
He's such a gooey gumball goof. What about you?
I'm ambivalent about Mitchie.
Oh my God, ambivalent.
Oh, he makes my skin crawl.
You're a tiebreaker. Who would step in?
I'm a yes. You're a no.
Listen, when I sit here, I knew you were going to push me till I got like
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Okay, here we go.
When I sit
Hold on to your
here,
heads.
and
Buckle
Mitch
up.
McConnell is on the floor in the wee hours saying, it's time to see what our friends on the other side. I mean, oh my God! I'm like, please, please, please get the pills. Let me put one under my tongue.
the
Oh
pills.
my God!
The big
You
one.
know, Elizabeth, I'm coming.
More
Our
lithium.
friends. It's time to see what our friends on the other side. Don't even use the word friends. Don't even use it. First of all, I want to be clear with all of you. I have zero interest, not 0.1% of being bipartisan. I don't believe in it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I have 0%.
Yeah, that's the first time I've heard that.
And bipartisan solutions that scare the hell out of anybody.
That's what they want to get
Do you
to,
want
though.
another chance ambivalent? Or do you want to just go on that?
I think I'm on board. I'm on board, sir.
What a way to be bipartisan. You just shove your
that's
agenda
about
down our throat. Jeez.
The bipartisan is just the
Next week
rhinos
I
and
have
the
uniforms you have to wear.
Back to brown shirts, are we? Uh-huh.
We're going to end with you. You got a final thought of the day that you came with?
Well, the skinny repeal defeat, I don't think it's, as bad as it really is. I think there's a silver lining in every cloud, and who bats 1,000? So I'm looking for
What
upside
got
now.
into you today?
I'm just feeling good.
I mean, my God.
I feel good.
Did you think they were ever going to repeal Obamacare in the first place?
I knew it was going to be a tough road to hoe, but I thought they would. But,
Do you feel they will?
yeah. Or it just implodes. I mean, and everyone's going, got to do something, got to do something.
Our
doing
friends
now.
on the other side of the aisle can step in and fix
Let's reach
Obamacare.
across.
No, you didn't just do that. I know, Jane. Hold me back, Jane.
audacity.
What do you have, sir?
I need to give a shout out to old BKP right here. Here it comes, brother.
You ready?
Yeah,
Okay.
regardless of you hollering at me all the time. A publication in North Fulton County. The Herald newspapers, Alpharetta, Roswell for Forsyth County, Johns Creek, Milton. They ran a cover story about Brian Pritchard acts as a conduit to the readers. It was a really nice piece. Citizens journalist shines light on Georgia. It was a really nice piece. You can Google it. Just Google North Georgia Herald Pritchard and read the piece about Brian's last 7 years bringing truth, justice, and the American way. How do you like that?
I have the cape in the car.
Yeah.
I have the cape in the car. We have wind. Can we get the fan going through the cape? Thank you. I
No,
appreciate
seriously.
that.
Shout out to
worthless.
Brian.
Thank you. Jane, what do you have?
I can't top that. I'll just say ditto.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
How about
So-
a shout out to Sam? You
Sam.
know what I like? I like the fact that when she gets on the phone with you, she goes, Brian Pritchard?
I know you did.
Right? Huh?
Yes, I
You used the
know.
last name?
Yeah, I know. Don't
Why
go-
did you leave that coffee cup in here? I'm telling you. Keep him in line, Miss Samantha.
I tell Sam all the time, I would get mad if you weren't right. I would. I'd get upset. Folks, let me close before we get to our pet of the week. We got a couple more minutes and somebody can make a comment here. Saying this, we're up here in North Georgia and we're in the little community up here, but we are breaking news. We are covering stories. And you think of these big monstrous high-rises with the glass tower that say NBC and ABC, and they have all this fancy equipment,
New
and
York
they never
Times.
have a technical difficulty, and they can recover from it, and they got 12 people working there. We don't. But you know what we did yesterday? We did something none of them are doing for the most part. I think all of you may know out there, our viewers, who former homicide detective, DC detective Rod Wheeler is. He was a guest on our show yesterday. He has looked into the Seth Rich murder that is unsolved in DC. He was a private investigator for the Rich family, the DNC staffer that showed up dead, no wallet missing or anything. He has been on our show here in Little North Georgia 3 times, I think. I have phone conversations with him once a week. He takes my call. I think he said something very positive about us one day. He said, you know what? You guys tell the truth. And I really enjoy that. The point is, Deborah Wasserman Schultz, the Capitol Police, what happened with Seth Rich, the DNC, this man said, I want to tell you, go watch it on our YouTube channel. Rod Wheeler said yesterday, okay, he said this guy, Awan, is that his name, Awan? That was getting out of the country, that is Deborah Wasserman Schultz and many of the DNC's IT, okay, that had access to the DNC servers, all right?
His whole family did.
Yes. Rod Wheeler said yesterday, watch for the arrest warrants, the search warrants, watch what happens. And he said, this may be our Russian leak. Folks, we're getting really close on this with some people. It might just be up here in Little North Georgia and Blue Ridge and LJ. This is the kind of place we're going after the news.
It's a 9-minute piece. Don't miss it. It was really a good interview.
He was solid, wasn't he?
Yeah, excellent.
And then we got some good information. So I want to thank you guys. I want to thank you.
You're welcome.
Did you have anything else?
Not a thing. I'm going to go get pimento cheese as soon as we leave.
Oh, are you? I like that. You know, we went out for a pizza this week.
We did.
Yeah, we had a pizza.
Did you find your glasses yet?
No, I still haven't found my glasses.
I'm telling you.
Huh? I still.
Tape him to his face, he won't leave you.
I can't tape them to my face. Ooh, bang, zoom, Alice.
Bada bing.
Yeah, to the moon.
Yeah, to the moon.
Well, you know, I get up. Lisa's like, "Did you find your glasses?" No. You know what gets me is when the next thing is, well, let's retrace your steps.
Yeah, that's what I said.
When did you? Oh my God.
I said that too.
Oh no. I will find my glasses.
Look at the end of the bed where you found your wallet that time that you lost it. Remember?
Do you have to tell everybody?
I'm sorry.
You know what he found at the end of his bed.
Yeah, right. That's pretty scary.
We have to get on to the star of the show, our pet of the week. No, I can't find my glasses. We went out for a pizza at Blue Jeans. And I want to say this, folks. Ken, that's a great guy.
He is.
Ken is that's a great guy. We went out for a pizza the other night. Lisa stopped in. We got a pizza again. Stopped in yesterday.
It's a pizza place.
Well, the power was out. Sam will tell you, the power was out here in town.
Place was packed, right?
And you couldn't get another person in there. And over at Blue Jeans Pizza right here in downtown, we got a lot of good restaurants.
That's our winter home, right?
Yes, right here. We move over there in the winter when the weather no longer permits us to be here at the beautiful Sycamore Crossing. I want to give you a whole week. But next week I want to talk a little local politics.
Ooh.
Next week. Well, the reality is the reality.
Fine
we
with
have,
me.
You mean
we have
really local?
Well, yeah.
You don't mean state. You mean city.
No.
City.
When I say local, let's bring it down. We have a governor's race.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I don't know.
We have, wait a minute. We have a lieutenant governor's race. We have a secretary of state's race, which I think is going to be very important because Secretary of State with hacking and all this. And then we drill it down. A lot of the communities Fetch Your News serves, and this being one, has mayor and city council. So there is a lot of politics that we need to get out of the national a little bit and bring it down. So I want to do a segment on that next week. We're good?
I'm going to go home and start now.
That's why I told you I'd give you a whole week. I'm your host. We'll take a break. And next up, the star of our show. Oh, my God. Look at that beautiful pooch over there. Oh, my God. Oh. You're going to see right after this. Thank you guys, All-Star Panel. You can always check our segments out on FYN TV, Fetch Your News YouTube channel, and you can also find them on FetchYourNews.com. Let's take a break. Thank you, guys.